Clarkson. Tonight we report on a secret CIA research project carried out in Montreal in which mental patients felt they were used as the CIA's guinea pigs.
They kept you asleep for 23 days. While I was asleep, they were shocking the heck out of me with electric shocks.
George Reeves, who played Superman, was shot down and killed in his Beverly Hills home. Cops called it suicide, and just about all of us accepted that judgment. But now a group of several dozen friends of George Reeves and fans of Superman are challenging that assessment. They say Reeves did not kill himself, that he was gunned down in cold blood because of some extracurricular romance.
Those who were involved were trying to find out something about brainwashing. Yes, this is the reason that we were interested in Dr. Cameron's work.
Jonathan Corwin House, one of the most notorious witchcraft judges.
100 people had been imprisoned, and 14 women and 6 men had been executed.
Hello everyone, my name is Haley Elizabeth, and if you don't know who I am, I post videos talking about conspiracy theories, controversial people, true crime, and all things spooky, scary skeletons. So if you're interested in any of that, you can subscribe. But this specific video is going to be about conspiracy theories. I really love making these videos. I love researching for them. I like doing them. I like talking about them. Oh, I forgot to turn on my light. Oh, cool. Now you can actually see my face. Before we continue into the rest of today's video, I do want to give a big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. If you guys don't know what HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit that includes fresh, pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your home to make cooking easy, fun, and affordable. HelloFresh offers delicious recipes that accommodate with any diet like vegetarian, pescatarian, low-cal, and carb-smart. HelloFresh also has more 5-star review meals than any other meal kit, and all of its ingredients work directly with farmers, so you know what you're getting is extremely fresh. Now, as y'all may or may not know, I cannot cook. I was literally living off of grilled cheese and cereal before HelloFresh, so shout out to HelloFresh for keeping me healthy. The recipes are very easy to follow along with it, and it genuinely makes me excited to cook every night, knowing that I already have all of the ingredients with no stress. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning so you can get dinner on the table in just 30 minutes. Considering an average shopping trip takes about 41 minutes, and with these pre-measured ingredients, there is no wasted food. In fact, HelloFresh's carbon footprint is 25% less than those compared to a store-bought groceries. You can also change your meal kit to fit your liking, such as changing food preferences, skipping a week, or changing delivery dates. HelloFresh has donated over 4 million meals to charity in 2020 amid the coronavirus crisis, and still continues to step up their food donations. All you need to do is go to HelloFresh.com and use my code HaleyElizabeth14, and you get 14 free meals along with free shipping. Like, for example, say you want to go on a family trip, but you don't want to keep on making all of those grocery trips to the store every night when you could easily be using that time to spend time with your family. HelloFresh also offers meals that can feed up to 4 people. So you just bring that along, and then there you go. The fully prepared, pre-measured meals, good for the entire family. Again, that is HaleyElizabeth14 at HelloFresh.com. You will get 14 meals free along with free shipping. And thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Okay. Now back to the video. Very first topic that we're going to get into is the topic that I find most interesting. That is Project MK Ultra. In the 50s and 60s during the Cold War, the US thought that the Soviets and the Chinese were using governmental brainwashing their US prisoners. So like US soldiers would go to foreign countries, some of them as spies, and then when they were kidnapped and made prisoners, they thought that they were actually brainwashing their prisoners, brainwashing them as a form of mind control in order to like get the US people on their side and also reveal any information that they needed. This was all like speculated, like no one knew for sure, and the US was like, oh, well, if everyone else is doing it, let's do it 10 times worse. So in 1953, they approved of Project MK Ultra, which contained about 150 people, some volunteers, some had no idea what they were signing up for. People from the military, some of them were prisoners, so like they really didn't have a choice in whether or not they wanted to pursue this experiment because they were a prisoner. They really had barely any rights. They basically tried a ton of things on these subjects, such as drugs, paralytics, and electroshock therapy, trying to figure out new ways.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome back. Please leave a like so this video is recommended to others, and hit that subscribe button so you can keep seeing videos just like this.
If you've been looking for a reason to not come to Bali, this is it.
Damn. There's so many.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating.
It's a good thing I don't even know where Bali is, so for sure I won't be going anytime soon. One spider is too many spiders, let alone thousands.
This is El Jefe, the only known wild jaguar in the United States. Just a lone 200-pound cat doing his thing in the mountains of Arizona. That is until 2017, when researchers photographed a second jaguar in the United States named Sombra. And they're both found in the same area, being the mountains of southern Arizona. They're both from Mexico, and they're the only two jaguars known to cross the border into the United States. Until just a couple weeks ago, when a third jaguar was photographed in southern Arizona. It was spotted on a trail cam in the Huachuca Mountains, and they have confirmed by the pattern on its fur that this is not El Jefe or Sombra. And according to researchers, these jaguars are thriving in the mountains of Arizona, just hunting deer and running the show. I don't know about the people in Arizona, but to me, this is awesome. Little by little, the jaguars are making a comeback in the United States. On the other end, you might want to be careful now if you're going hiking in the mountains of Arizona. And as always, follow for more facts.
Dang, bro, that's kind of terrifying. 200 pounds? We got everything under the sun crossing illegally now. Dang, boy. Got them strong legs. I wonder if this guy has health insurance. He probably does. If he's taking risks, that's stupid, but I'm still impressed.
Animal facts that'll make you see the world a little differently. The only reason tigers are orange is because the animals on their grocery list are Helen Keller to the color. So if you're something like a deer, this is what the biggest cat in the world and a striped Uber to the afterlife looks like. Polar bears have black skin. The only reason they look white is because their fur is translucent and hollow. And with hollow hair, light bounces off of them and reflects enough to look like an aggressive piece of snowdrift. Flamingos are naturally pink. The color comes from the carotenoid pigments in the shrimp and algae they eat. If they didn't eat it, they'd look like an IKEA kitchen, just 50 shades of bland. And if you move like Bugs Bunny and start ODing on carrots, the same thing can happen to you, but instead of pink, you turn a shade of orange. If you think an orca's eyes are here, you fall for their trap card. It's actually right there. The giant white patches are false eyes to trick any prey that tries to fight back. It's just devious. This is a black bear. Let me explain. This is a black bear with a mutation called leucism that basically turns it into a shiny Pokemon. Matter of fact, all three of these are black bears, and I can't even be mad. I'm black and I'm proud, but I'm black and I'm brown, at least according to Crayola. Bulls hating the color red is a myth. Mostly because bulls can't even see the color red, but chickens do, and because their instinct is to attack the color red, you're more likely to get pressed by a pack of poultry if you cosplay as the Kool-Aid Man. The more you know.
So the tiger is basically invisible? That is terrifying. The only one that I actually knew was the orca one, but who doesn't know that, right?
Don't you dare ever use a massage gun on your neck, because it can actually stop the blood flow from going to your brain.
It's absolutely true. This is what you got to understand. If you're massaging your neck, you got to make sure you avoid the anterior area here. And the reason for that is that you don't have much muscle in this area. You have a sternocleidomastoid, which is the muscle here, but then you have vessels such as the vein and the carotid artery. And what could happen with someone that has a high velocity, massage gun, it could cause dissection, meaning the artery walls could dissect or rupture, and that could lead to a stroke. And I've seen strokes before in patients who have high velocity manipulation of their neck. And that's why it's important to avoid massaging the interior neck, because that could lead to a carotid dissection, that could lead to a stroke. And you probably heard of chiropractors essentially being sued because of high velocity manipulation in the neck area because they caused someone to have a stroke. This is almost the same idea. Causing any type of manipulation in the area where you have important structures is very dangerous and you should avoid. So this is what I would recommend. If you want to massage your neck, it's important to massage the back. Obviously you have muscles, the trapezoid muscles in the back, your shoulder muscles, those are fine to massage with a massage gun, but make sure you don't apply too excessive force. Make sure you use a light mode to prevent any injury there.
Why are we so fragile? Speaking of chiropractors, man, if you look up how chiropractors started, it's really crazy. You'll find some pseudoscience stuff that's way out there. I've probably mentioned that before. Maybe I forgot. I don't know. I'm kind of stupid. Okay. So apparently any large animal can enter your house, including bears and deer. That boy kicked the door open like he was looking for someone specifically. Somebody probably owes that bear money.
If you're wondering what it sounds like being out here, listen to this. You would have thought it would be completely silent, but it's not.
Why is that so unsettling? That's weird. Fun fact. Windmills can mess up whales' sonar and beach them on shores. What? Is that true? It has 27,000 likes. It might be true. That's messed up. That's pretty amazing. So that's what it's like to be a squirrel. That's pretty cool, man. It's big enough to live in.
You know why grocery stores are designed so that the only way to reach the exit is by awkwardly walking through the checkout lanes? Well, it's to discourage you from leaving without buying anything. Grocery stores will also place the produce section right at the entrance so that you'll grab the fruits and vegetables first and then hopefully feel less guilty about grabbing junk food later on. Another way that they get you to spend more money is by arranging the cereal aisle so that the sugary cereals are like at a child's eye level, so they're more likely to grab one, while the healthier options are way up top. You might have also noticed that essential items like milk and eggs are deliberately placed all the way in the back of the store so that you're forced to walk through other aisles to get to them. And they make sure to fill the ends of the aisles with a lot of unhealthy options like snacks and sodas to make sure that you come across them while on your way to the essential items. They're also very much aware that these tactics become less effective after you visit the store a few times and get a better sense of where everything is, so they'll regularly move the products to different aisles to disorient you. Some grocery stores like Whole Foods have doubled the size of their shopping carts over the last decade because a study found that doubling the size results in a 40% increase in sales.
I always eat before going to the grocery store, that way I don't buy any junk food, but sometimes the little tricks can work. That part is super annoying when they start moving aisles around and then I have to relearn the store again. Ever wonder why your luggage gets messed up at the airport?
Punch! Punch! Wacko!
What, dude?
A few more, here comes the big one.
Ooh. And you know that those crack, man. Those crack super easily. They should call it the Luggage Cracker 2000. I want to know who invented this thing. How did you convince them to give you money for that?
Something is about to happen in America that hasn't happened in 221 years. Experts are now predicting that billions of insects will burst from out of the ground and cover roads, trees, and sidewalks in an event that hasn't happened since 1803. Guess we'll find that. Now, the insects in question are cicadas, which have red eyes, are pretty large, and are known for their unique screaming sound. Now granted, cicadas appear every year, but this year's bloody biblical level awakening will not see just one, but two broods coming up at the same time. And why it's so rare is that one of them comes up every 13 years, and the other every 17. So for them to link up and tag team the US at the same time, it sounds like frickin' Moses is in town. These are gonna be the states worst affected, so get your flamethrowers ready. And they're predicted to emerge in May and June. So the question is, billions of cicadas, or double it and give it to Canada?
Well, there you go. At least you know now. Don't let TikTok fool you into thinking it's the end of the world when this happens. You already know there's gonna be a million TikToks telling you it's the end of times. Mega food stash was piled 20 feet high and 700 pounds worth of acorns. You should have just left it in the wall at that point. It probably would have made a good insulation there.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important news bulletin. We are receiving unconfirmed reports right now of random acts of violence and mass murder all over the city by what are described as bloody corpses in a trance-like state.
You probably think you could survive a zombie outbreak, don't you? Well, that's what everyone thought when it first started. They knew exactly who they wanted in their squad, which weapons they'd use to efficiently destroy the undead, and they even had the perfect home base scouted out. But it was so much more complicated than that. What people didn't think of was how each day would be one step closer to a complete collapse of the infrastructure we all rely on. Yeah. With no one maintaining them, water supplies would quickly become contaminated. In just a few months, GPS technology would fail. And, oh yeah, what about all those nuclear power plants operating with no one at the helm? How long until they start melting down and releasing catastrophic radiation? Luckily for you, we've put together a guide to help you survive these unexpected dangers. Month 1. Get out. According to a model designed by scientists at Cornell University, densely populated cities would be the first places to be overtaken, and it would happen astonishingly quickly. You'll want to escape to somewhere rural, but just make sure you're not near any nuclear power plants. Without human oversight, reactors could start melting down in the first few days or weeks. A lot of reactors have safety systems built in, but it's only a matter of time before those fail too. Governments may mandate quarantines to halt the infection, so you'd need to hurry, but before leaving the city, collect as many non-perishable goods as possible. Canned food and bottled water will save your life. Also, bring along any camping equipment you have. Sleeping bags, portable solar panels, and thermal clothes will be essential. And it's weird, but even during civilization's collapse, your cell phone will be crucial for survival. I'll tell you why a little bit later, but for now, just keep it charged and save the battery as much as you can. Month 2. Establish a camp. After spending a few weeks in a mountain camp, it's tempting to seek a cozy cabin for shelter. However, it's safer to steer clear of places like this. they may be occupied by hostile survivors, or they may have already been breached by zombies. Your bottled water supply is likely diminishing, so it's crucial to find fresh water sources. Listen for lakes or rivers, but avoid setting up camp too close to them, as they'll attract potentially unfriendly survivors. And don't forget to sterilize water before drinking it. You can do that by placing it in a glass or plastic bottle and exposing it to sunlight for at least 6 hours. Month 3. Hunt. Well, it's finally happened. Your canned food supply is gone, and you need to learn how to hunt. You'll be going after smaller prey like rabbits, squirrels, and possibly wild pigs. You're better off using traps to avoid unnecessary risks and injuries. Always cook anything you catch. Without pharmacies and medicine, you don't want to get food poisoning and die. Month 4. Scavenge. According to modeling by scientists at Leicester University in England, humanity would be overtaken by zombies on the 100th day, so you may be dead by this point. However, this model didn't consider human adaptability and resilience. Nonetheless, consuming undercooked food in the wild could make you or your companions ill, so you'll need to start exploring villages in order to scavenge medicines. Okay, if your phone still has some battery life, it'll be useful even after societal collapse. Experts estimate that GPS technology would last at least 6 months before failing due to neglected maintenance. So turn on your phone, pull up a map of your area, and try to locate a village with a potentially stocked pharmacy or grocery store. Month 5. Move. Zombies and human survivors will almost certainly be moving at all times. Be vigilant for signs of groups getting close to your shelter. You may need to move to a more secure location. After the initial outbreak, fortified buildings like prisons may be the best place to set up camp. And be prepared to defend your new home from both zombies and hostile humans. Repair any damaged fences or walls and make an evacuation plan. This place won't be safe forever. Month 6. Grow. Once you find a defendable long-term location, well, you should start growing food. Stick to crops that don't require extensive growth periods, like corn and potatoes. They'll be ready to harvest in 2 or 3 months. Month 7. Strengthen up. Even when you secure your shelter and food supply, you'll still have needs you can't fulfill by yourself. Try to find other survivors you can trust and build an alliance. Exchanging food for tools and clothes would be a great idea. However, be cautious. In a situation like this, every stranger is a threat. Scientific estimations suggest that for any human community to thrive, it would need no fewer than 98 people. So, if you find other reliable groups of humans, invite them to join your community and increase your chances of survival. Month 8. Store. Okay, the weather will start changing soon, making it harder to hunt and grow food. You need to produce and store as much food as you can. You can preserve meat using salt, but use the leaner cuts for this, since the more fat meat has, the more likely it is to go rancid. Potatoes can last for months in a cool, dry place, so start saving them for the winter. Month 9. Mapping your territory. The world is now plagued with gangs taking advantage of safe and thriving communities like yours. You need to be vigilant. The only way to know what's happening in your surroundings is to designate scouts to explore the terrain. Month 10. Fortify. The number of infected is increasing daily. By now, hordes of zombies are making their way to the mountains. Get prepared. Fortify your shelter with fences and traps to keep them away from your community. but you'll soon realize that zombies may not be your biggest problem. Month 11. Prepare to fight. Zombies aren't really capable of planning